see such a good audience for Anna Bakken's Merit Recital, where she's doing music from Andrew Lloyd Webber's Song and Dance. It's a unique show. She'll tell you a little bit more about that. But the challenge, of course, is the show itself is written for one actress as she moves through experiences in her professional life. To help her make this a great recital, I do ask you to check your cell phones and make sure that they're all shut off, because in the 1980s, where the show is set, there were no cell phones like this. So we want to get them off right now to make the environment as authentic as possible. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me today as we travel to New York City through a journey of song and dance from the eyes of an English girl. As you know, my name is Anna Bakken, and this is my senior merit recital. As I was contemplating what to focus on for this recital, it was a simple choice to do something related to what I truly adore. I am passionate about song and dance. So, that led me to want to study Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical, Song and Dance. I adore the storyline, the hidden messages, and of course the fact that I could sing and dance. I have always loved being in Lloyd Webber's shows, but I really knew this was the work for me to study when I found out that it originally opened in London on my birthday, March 26th, even though it was 14 years before I was even a thought. I officially started the process of breaking down the show this past summer. I sat down and I went piece by piece through the entire work. I knew I could not perform the entire musical, and I knew how much music I needed to perform. So I picked out the pieces that would truly and fluidly tell the story. I then started to study the music, the voice range, who performed it, and of course, the composer, Andrew Lloyd Webber. He is an English composer who has wrote 13 musicals, a song cycle, a set of variations, 2 film scores, and a Latin Requiem Mass. Some of his most well-known musicals include The Phantom of the Opera, Jesus Christ Superstar, Evita, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and Cats. I truly believe that musical theater would not be the same today if it was not for Andrew Lloyd Webber. His contributions have been legendary. The New York Times referred to him as the most commercially successful composer in history. Some of his awards include a peerage from Queen Elizabeth II, 7 Tony Awards, 3 Grammy Awards, an Academy Award, a Golden Globe, a Brit Award, and the 2008 Kennedy Center Honors. He owns one of the largest theater operations in London, the Relief School Group. They are involved in theater, film, television, video and concert production, merchandising, magazine publishing, records, and music publishing. He has dedicated his time and money to being the president of the Arts Educational Schools London. He is also involved with the Elton John AIDS Foundation and the Andrew Lloyd Webber Foundation to support the arts, culture, and heritage in the UK. And now, allow me to tell you a little bit about this particular musical that he wrote. Song and Dance is a musical comprised of 2 acts, one of song and one of dance. This one-woman show tells the story of Emma, a London girl traveling to New York City and eventually Los Angeles to pursue her dream of hat making. Along the way, it would be only natural that love would tackle her journey. Today, you will see a condensed version of the show. As I began to break apart the originating pieces of Song and Dance, I learned that this show is the product of 2 shows put together with rewrites and changes to the plot. There were actually many steps and changes that occurred before this musical became what it is now. It's even being revised again today. Originally, the musical was titled Tell Me on a Sunday. It was a song cycle that Marty Webb originated. It was about a girl in the UK, but this girl did not yet have a name. The musical is based off of an idea by Tim Rice, a songwriting partner of Lloyd Webber's, to create a television show. Tim Rice was actually conceiving this story for Elaine Page, a woman with whom he was having an affair. Weber did not approve of this and proceeded to find a new lyricist for the revision, Don Black. It was Black's idea to have the girl emigrate to the States. When Lloyd and Black finished putting the show together, it was first presented at the Sydmonton Festival in 1979. The Sydmonton Festival is a summer arts festival that takes place on Weber's estate near London. This performance opened the doors for this musical to continue to grow and expand. It was recorded on an album and was performed at the Royalty Theatre in London and broadcasted on the BBC. The album reached number 2 on the UK charts, and the single release of Take That Look Off Your Face reached number 3, which will be performed this afternoon. In 1982, Lloyd Webber and Black decided to combine Tell Me on a Sunday with a ballet choreographed to Lloyd Webber's Variations. This combination turned into the first act of Song and Dance. Marty Webb starred as the girl again as it opened at the West End, and then was succeeded by a few more actresses, including Sarah Brightman, Lloyd Webber's wife at the time. Brightman and Lloyd Webber married in 1984 and later divorced in 1990. Variations was written by Andrew Lloyd Webber for his brother, Julian Lloyd Webber. The genre of this piece is considered a fusion of classical and rock, because Andrew wrote rock musicals while his brother Julian was a classical cellist. The piece was actually the product of Andrew losing a bet to his brother after a football match. He had to write a cello work for his brother for his punishment. At this conception, David Cullen was asked to create an arrangement of the work for cello and orchestra. There are 23 variations, and they were almost all incorporated into the musical. Variation 5 became one of the most well-known tunes from the musical, Unexpected Song, which you will also hear today. In 1985, Richard Maltby Jr. was brought in to help adapt the show for an American audience to prepare it for a possible Broadway debut. Bernadette Peters was chosen for the role of the girl, who is now named Emma. The show made it to Broadway, and she ended up winning a Tony Award for Best Performance by a Leading Actress in a Musical. Peters has been nominated 7 times at the Tony Awards and has won 2, plus an honorary award. She has also been nominated for 9 Drama Desk Awards and won 3. This role brought much fame to Peters and has been called the First Lady of the Broadway musical by the New York Times. This character, Emma, it opens doors for actresses to truly dig down into a kind of emotional tenderness, but with conviction. There's a sense of loss of innocence about her as the show moves from beginning to end. One of the reasons Peters did so well with this role is because she was able to bring a piece of herself into the role and on stage. Peters naturally exudes a feeling of sweetness and vulnerability, which she brings to the beginning of the show. But then you see her growth into honesty, compassion, and tenderness that maintains the childlike attitude, but with a mature and resilient manner. Finally, it hit me that there is absolutely no possible way that I could do this by myself. I needed help. So I want to take this moment to thank those that have been exceptionally good to me. First, I will acknowledge my accompanist, Connor Kevapesky, practicing multiple times a week, making recordings for me, and dealing with my crankiness when I was utterly exhausted is truly appreciated. I absolutely could not do this production without you, Connor. 4 years has gone so fast. Broderick Lemke, you continue to amaze me. Everything you have done musically for the other musicians and myself have been so helpful. Words cannot express my gratitude for you, Brody. Thank you. Jack Eckelard and Kieran Wallace, thank you for committing your time and talent to this production. You guys always put a smile on my face and told me that everything was going to be awesome in the end. And I think you will be right. And of course, this would not even be possible without the direction of Dr. Sarah Parks. Thank you for giving me this opportunity and for your encouragement and your expertise. Thank you, Hannah Knutson, for helping me with choreography, Molly Farrell for costumes, Susan Allen for accent help, Erin Hunsader for acting help, Ava McGee for being my stagehand. And next, I want to thank Alicia Berter for being the best blocking director. You have stepped in whenever I needed help and with no judgment attached. Thanks, Mom. And Dad, for always being honest with me and continuously making me look at the bright side of life. To my friends and my family, thank you for literally everything. I would not be here if it was not for your unconditional love, support, and encouragement to follow my dreams. Okay, it's time for some song and dance.